Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Record Drums Online podcast, the podcast where I get to chat to session drummers, mixing and mastering engineers, and also music producers. In this episode, I had the chance of interviewing the one and only Curtis Kelley. If you don't know Curtis, man, he's one of my favorite drummers slash singers at the moment. He plays for Eric Krasno, Otis McDonald, Goldford, lots of other artists that I'm probably forgetting now. But he's an absolute beast at the drums. And in this episode, we talk about how to record drums, how to mix drums, because he's got his own studio in LA called ToneTown. And we also talk about gear, how to acquire really good gear that doesn't cost that much, which I think is a very valuable lesson for everyone that does this job of recording drums. So, yeah, absolutely an incredible episode. I cannot wait for you to listen to it and to watch it. So as always, please make sure to subscribe, like, tell your friends about this podcast so that we can get to interview even more amazing people. And yeah, without further ado, here he is, Curtis Kelley.
Yeah, man.
Nice one. Yeah. Man, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I'm so happy to be here, man.
For taking a bit of time. How was your session yesterday? All good?
Yeah, it was great. It was with part of the Goldford band. It was with Alex Kine and James the Eighth, and we just made a nothing for no reason, and it was great. And it's super funky and crunchy. Yeah, we didn't want to write for anybody specific, or we just wanted to get together and enjoy this canceled tour time and play some music,
Have a good time. Yes, man. Yeah. Oh, sounds great. We're going to talk about all of that, I'm sure. Like, man, yeah. So normally we just start the episode with, can you give us a little bit of like your background story, your
I would love
early career?
Of course, yeah. I'm from I guess I'd say that I'm from the Berkshires, like Western Massachusetts is my home. So I was born in Northwest Connecticut. My dad was in voiceovers. He's still in voiceovers, and he's always been a big rock and roll guy. He was a front man and a songwriter and a singer back in the 80s. His band never popped, although I really think they could have if the nexus of opportunities had occurred. But so I don't know. I was really young, and my dad it was just, I don't know. He's like a Radagast the Brown from Lord of the Rings and Bob Dylan fusion, man. He's like, I don't really know what it is. He's just like romantic and just like deep thinking, creative guy. And he just kind of really got me on music immediately. So I was drumming at like 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't take lessons until about like 12 or 13 when I got into high school, but did the normal thing of in band. And I had a asshole band teacher who was like, and I was, I'm like a little hippie kid from the woods, and I was treated really nice. People loved me a lot. So I finally had this guy who was like, you suck, and you don't do that with the kick drum when you play jazz. And I was like, but it was so good, dude. It was so good. I needed someone to tell me to fucking be better. And so that was cool. So I did the whole jazz band, got to do the like I did the district jazz band. I got in the all-state band in Massachusetts in 2012, and then that was really fun. And I was really lucky because I had a bunch of kids that were like my best friends who were also very talented. So I was writing songs at 12 and 13, and leading the band from the drums, and we took over our small town. It was really fun.
Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, was it like a big band? Did you guys were you playing in a big band at the time, like just like
well, there was the school stuff, and this was like my original project. So we were playing my song. So it was me and the guitar player Nicholas Veneglu. Not sure if you have heard of that guy. He's an LA cat.
Yes.
Yeah, Nick Veneglu. That was my boy.
I follow you, man, since you were playing for Interlopers.
The Interlopers? No way,
man. Yeah,
no way, bro.
That's when I started following you, man.
That's crazy.
I saw a few videos. Like I'm talking about, I don't know, when was that? It was like what, 10 years ago? Almost?
2005, 2015 was the last like show we did together. Yeah.
Man, it was amazing. I remember watching these videos. I was like, man, this drummer just sings and drums so good. It's like, it's phenomenal. So
you're so sweet. Thank you. That was a special time, man. I'm grateful for those years, because I really feel like if it wasn't for those special high school years writing songs and like challenging ourselves as a band to do new and different things. Like I remember showing up to rehearsals at my house, where people showing up to my house for rehearsals, and we would just throw all these time signatures up on this whiteboard, and we'd just be like trying to play something pretty and nice, but they're just looking at this whiteboard and going 7, 10, 6, 4, 5, whatever. And it was just that time got me so prepared for college, but not even just like school, but for like actively communicating with people in
Yeah.
music. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Because that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
was it yeah, like did you guys go together then at Berkeley? Like same like the band just basically moved to Berkeley
Pretty
or
much, pretty much. They were all a year older than me, so I was like, "You
okay.
guys go, I'll figure it out." And then once we're all there together, you guys can graduate. I'll leave after 3 years, but then that's how it goes. So as soon as that period happened, they're graduating. I'm gonna leave, but then the band breaks up. So it's like, oh no.
Ah,
So
oh
I had a big
man.
crisis of like, who am I? And like, do I have any talents? Because I was just so much a part of a group.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so yeah, it was good, man. That was really important though too. It teaches you about like the kind of people you want to be
Mm,
working with, the kind of music you want to be making. Also, like, is it aligning with you as a human
yeah.
and the people around you? Like, is it actually helping you all achieve new heights? So it ended, and I went to Spain for a while for school to
Wow.
do some stuff because I was like, I need to like change shit up and figure out who I am and what I'm capable of. And so that was amazing. And then I was really miserable in Boston singing as a front man in a wedding band and playing drums once in a while. I just made more money singing and bringing the PA system and shit. And that was like until 2018, and then moved to LA after that because it was just sad and unactivated out there.
Wow, really? Oh man.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Wow,
It was
wow.
beautiful, but it was also kind of sad,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, man, you're doing great now. It's just like I keep seeing your videos, and I'm like, well, this guy is still crushing it. Like,
Oh
'cause
man.
I kind of lost touch, as you said, like after the Interlopers. I was like, wait a minute, where is he gone? And then it reappeared on my Instagram feed, and I was like, this guy is still amazing, man.
Oh,
So,
you're so sweet, bro.
when did because you're a great singer as well. When did you started singing? What was the
Oh
kind of
man. Yeah,
was it always
I
a
started. It was always a thing. My dad had showed me some videos of me when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and it's like we're in the middle of the living room, and I got those like old Remo animal print drums. You know what I'm talking about? Those kids animal print guys, and I'm banging on them. I'm yelling, like screaming. I'm like, how did you deal with this guy, dude? This is crazy. So much noise. So I was always banging on stuff and yelling, to be honest. And then 13, 12, started writing songs, and it was like, well, who's gonna sing these things? Someone's got to do it. So, and I really learned how to sing super incorrectly too. I learned later in life that like my larynx was just so up there and closed out, and I would just keep burning my shit out. And
uh,
yeah, so I mean, singing happened really naturally. It just happened to express the songs we were coming up with.
that's awesome, man. That's so cool. I know did that kind of helped a little bit in your drumming, or was it like how do you see like the two things? Do you see like one just separated from the other, or is it like you just feel like you need to sing basically like
Mm. I think this is a cool, interesting question, just because people talk about singing and drumming being something that's like I don't know, less heard of or impressive or whatever. But to me, I'm like, this is something that human beings have been doing for thousands of years, for millennia, since we were like a thing oozing on the beach,
yeah,
whatever it is. Like we were able to hit stuff and yell.
yeah.
To me, it's a very primal and like that's like our power, that's our voice, that's how we express and all that stuff. So I mean, I think they're really, really one and the same. And I in particular had this teacher in Berkeley who was awesome. His name is Dave DeCenzo. I'm not sure
Oh
if you are
yeah.
hip to
Oh
Dave, dude.
yeah. Dave
That
is
man,
is the man. Yeah. Yeah.
that man is incredible. And yeah, the biggest problem I had with Dave was that he was such a nice guy. So we would hang out for our 30-minute lessons and work for 5 minutes and just vibe out for 20 minutes.
Really? Yeah,
I
because he
love
has
that
his
dude.
technique. Like he has got his own technique. I remember having lessons with him, and he was like, "Guys, just say it. Even if you have to say it out loud, just say it." Because he was counting like out
Hmm.
loud, and he wasn't afraid about it. It's just like,
Mm-mm.
just do it.
It was so hip too, and I hear his voice for counting stuff. He's a one, like he's just got so much funk in his soul, and he's got such like I've never seen a drummer quite play with such power, but looks so smooth and
Yeah.
easy doing that power. So he was great. His lessons were helpful. I mean, honestly, the best thing I would ever recommend for people wanting to sing and drum is making the drums automatic, finding out where you can really rest on the drum part and really enjoy the groove. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Just do something that just makes you feel stuff, and
Yeah.
then focus on the singing. But you got to work that drumming to be automatic, and that's easy when you like really love a song or like you really know a song super well. You can just really trust yourself to groove, and then sing the song you love. So like that's really it. It comes down to just expressing the music, and if you can hear it in your head, then you can sing it. It's just a matter of doing it
Right.
over again, and especially with drums and rhythm, like there's exercises you can do, but there's nothing better than singing songs you love and playing the drum groove and honoring those parts.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Do you feel like sometimes you kind of have to focus on one more than the other, or it's just like
oh
comes
yeah.
naturally? Yeah. Oh, really?
Oh, totally. I mean, I'm really lucky. I don't know, whatever I was given by this sweet universe makes it feel has always made it feel easy to me. But oh my God, like we play a cover of Everyone Wants to Rule the World on this Goldford tour. And that groove, that groove.
Such.
That's a mind melter,
Yeah.
and especially if you're like trying to do fills and stuff on top of that, and if you get off that train, you can oh god, and it's gone. So like singing those choruses with Jeff and playing that groove is something that I needed like multiple sound checks to be like oh god, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, there's stuff that's tough, but once you work it in, it really comes down to the drums being automatic, I think, to make the room for the vocal to happen, especially if you're a singer that has to think about the mechanics like me sometimes, or else I'll hurt
Ah,
myself. So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man, no, you know what? Some of my favorite drummers, they're singers as well. Laboriel and was it Josh Dean,
Oh,
like
Josh is
Ringo.
amazing.
Yeah, all these
Ringo, dude,
guys.
I actually the whole like aspect of singing and drumming being more of an ancient and primal thing. Like I heard Josh Dion talking about that, and I was like, dude, you're on it. So
Yeah,
that's a lift from our boy Josh there.
absolutely. Yeah, and then he started adding like an extra keyboard there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, me too. Settle down, Josh.
Yeah,
He's awesome. He's
he's
a nice guy too.
yeah, it seems very nice. Yeah, I had the chat on again on Instagram with him, and he was very very sweet. Man, yeah, that is so cool. But you also play other styles as well. Like I've seen you
Yeah.
playing like body rich stuff, and just funk stuff. Like what kind of how do you approach when learning a new style? Do you just like go for periods of like listening and just practicing,
Mm.
or
Yeah, I remember when I was really like churning through different styles of music back in the day. It was all about finding like a home base, like playing. I remember like I loved playing songo and like like Latin rhythms. Um, uh, see like what really would I really dig back in the day? I was doing Yeah, I guess I would say I was studying with this guy, and we were just churning through West African grooves and Latin American grooves and Afro-Cuban grooves, and like that was the most fun playing drums I ever had as like a student, wrapping your head
nice?
around those types of things, because I just think that that music is so special, and it's like older and wiser and it's from deeper roots.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love just getting into that stuff, and really it comes down to like just doing a dance. So
Yeah.
I like to put myself in a place where I feel like I can dance to it and get inside the feeling, because it's the feeling that you're trying to emulate at the end of the day. So if I can put myself in that space and humbly learn stuff that doesn't come from my own roots. So that's how I like to
Nice.
handle it. It's like it's a dance at the end of the day for me.
Yeah. 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 Oh, that's awesome, man. That's such a cool way of looking at it, and especially because you also have to learn like so many sets because you play with different bands as well. You play with Eric Krasno, Goldford, and just a lot of people. How do you go, for example, learning new sets? Like every time you have to learn? Do you have like a way? I know some people, they use some specific, I don't know, the Nashville, the Nashville
Yeah.
way. Is there a way that you kind of approach learning new songs?
Um, I like to listen to the songs a lot beforehand. 'Cause I find, like, if I can get the hook stuck in my head, you know? Essentially essentially, I like to make a little reference point. So, like, if I really don't know the song and I need, like, a reference, I'll just seek out the song that it reminds me of the most in my head sometimes and, like, cue myself in on that.
Mm,
But really, it's about for me, it's like getting inside of the music and enjoying the music, and I also like to keep my plate with all these different artists pretty open. Like I would ideally like to tour with one artist at a time, within a
yeah.
couple little things here and there. I mean, I'm passionate about the studio and I'm passionate about sharing music live, but I don't love the grind of being like a sideman for all these different things all the time. And so like I'd say like three different artist sets in my brain maximum. There's only ever room for two or three artist sets. And that you know, and that it's different than studio work because I feel like studio work, it's about quickly cueing yourself into how it's going and then surrendering to the track as much as you possibly can and like fitting your drums in a thing where the live set is really about like you read the title of the track. Oh, I know that hook. It goes like or whatever, and like that's how I'm queuing in. I've made charts. I've made charts for live stuff, but I always end up getting rid of them, and I always end up looking at them and going, "Who the f made this?" I like because I do the Nashville thing. I know how to read music. I know how to write it all out, but I just don't do it for some reason. So I do these weird like combo boy charts of like on my phone notes, and I always throw them out. I always go like, "Why am I even trying to look at this? This is so stupid." So for me, it's like just learn the stuff, love it, know it, find the moments in the song that like cue you into. And for me, also, I don't usually play drums alone when I'm playing with artists. I'm usually singing
Yeah,
backgrounds or you know what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So it's really helpful for me to learn the lyrics and the harmony parts because that's also, what I'm saying. It's all just helps me
Just one
get
thing.
inside the track when the lyrics and the drums are here. I'm a song man. I love the songs, so I
Yeah,
wanna
yeah, 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 yeah.
that's get in, become a fan of the song, and then jump on the drums.
Yes, man. No, no, it must be like such I don't know. It takes me so long just to do the drums, and you have to learn the lyrics as well, the harmonies and all that. It's like wow,
It is
must
hard.
be.
It is it is hard. But when the music is good, it makes it so
Yeah,
easy. Like I worked with this guy named MT Jones from London. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. His name is Mike Jones. He's just a wonderful guy. And we did a show here in New York. And Jordan Rose played with
yeah,
him when he was in New York. Love Jordan. But yeah, that's one of those things where that music was so good that it just got in my head and created like grooves in my head, and then I couldn't get the songs out of my head. They were stuck. And so I just
yeah,
for 2 weeks was like, oh, how do I gotta get this out of my head. I have other stuff to do.
yeah. It's too catchy. It's too catchy. It's always there.
It's
It's always
so
there.
good. Yeah, I'm hearing it right now. It's fucking sweet.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
that is super cool. And so you were saying like the difference between studio work and of course like live work. But do you feel like, for example, you play differently, like in terms of, because I know some drummers, for example, when they play in live, they tell me they go more for they really
Totally.
dig in, and
Yeah.
yeah. Do you feel the same
I
or?
I do feel the same. I feel like it's a different medium, at least for me. Also, there's like a part of me that like can't really help it. Like when you're live and it's a give and take experience. It's like college. It's like you get out what you put in.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's with the audience too. So it's like a- I can't help but just feed off the vibe and just that's
Yeah,
that's half of my job on stage. I don't know. I feel like what separates me from other drummers, it would be that I just love performing and I love dancing on the drums. I love yelling and just having a blast and keeping that thing going. You know, there's chill gigs where you just really shouldn't do that. You know, you should chill out. You know, there's like drummer at the wrong gig scenario. But I've been lucky where my form of mania on the drums live is somehow works out on with these live gigs. Like I toured with an artist named Johnny for a while, JWNY, who, if you don't know, incredible indie artist, like amazing songwriter. Just that guy's got a gift. He's got a connection to a weird, crinkly part of the universe, and I love him. But that music was like a WWE performance from him. And then
Okay.
the songs are so good, and they require just leaning in, and the drums are all tuned low. So, you know, you really got to hit them to kind of suck air
Yeah.
out of them, and snares wide open, and, you know, superphonic deep boy, just whang. And
Yeah.
so that was super fun to lean in. And then with this Goldford stuff, for instance, it's like all really um, tasty, slightly elevated versions, excuse me, of the record. And the
Okay.
record is played all those drums on the record are played by a Jesse Singer, and he's just like,
All right.
he's incredible. Like Minds, him and Chris Soper are the producers. They're so incredibly talented. And Jesse plays with skinny boy sticks, and I swear to God, he hits with his pinkies or something. It's just so light and sweet, and the tones are so good. So like to get that type of sound out of the drums, yeah, you gotta take it easy. And partly something that elevated the Goldford band recently is we had a breakthrough of like, if we play this soft, we can we can perform from a place of softness and from a place of relaxation. And then Devin, our front of house guy and my business partner here at the studio, can make things sound larger than life and dynamic and stuff out there in the crowd. So the artist matters, the music matters, the context matters. We always joke, we go like, context is everything. Context is king, accountability is everything, and restraint is sexy. So that's been our thing. So um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like that soft approach is traditionally the studio approach,
Yeah.
unless you're doing like rock stuff where you have big room mics in the back and you want that snare to be
Yeah.
just the main boy in the brooms, you know.
Yeah.
So you get your loud snare, you hit that shit hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's a full spectrum, you know,
Hmm. Yeah,
of
it's
all the
quite hard to
stuff.
play like all the, I was listening, I was watching some of the performances you guys were doing. Yeah, man, those fills, they, you I don't know how you do it, but it just they're so quiet, but they're there, like so present. They're so like, oh, even if you do like that just very quietly, it's very, I don't know. I don't know if it's compression or what it is, but it's just like very much in your face, even if it's like
Oh
played really
man.
quiet.
Oh,
So yeah,
thanks,
yeah, yeah.
man.
No, no, no.
Yeah, it's tuning the drums so you feel like you can like. I studied with another teacher at Berkeley named Marco Georgievich, who is pretty awesome. He's an amazing, wonderful player. Watching his like physicality on the drums is wild. But he had this whole thing, and I wouldn't say that this was like the first time I heard this and it changed everything, but I just love the way he illustrates it physically about like sucking the tone out of the drum when you hit with the stick. You know,
Yeah.
he's not digging his stick tip in and choking the life out of the drum. He's like hitting it and like swooping it up. It's almost
Uh,
like he's doing more on the pullback than the actual hit. He's like, he just want to
yeah,
suck all
yeah,
the
yeah,
good stuff out of that drum. So
yeah.
I don't know. That's kind of the way I like to think about it. It's like where you hit the drum matters, especially when you're um like muffling things a lot, and like for those fills and stuff in that context, it's like all those drums are tuned like a studio.
Yeah.
You know, I got the roots EQ, got some fabric on them, I got whatever, you know, and those are all want those little tiny fills to be as tasty as possible. So you just make them sound good and play it soft and suck that tone out. Don't choke it out, you know?
Nice. Yeah. Do you have a particular way of tuning? Like, is there anything that you do that is kind of like your unique Curtis Kelley way of tuning drums, or is it
Oh man, maybe.
just
I don't I don't know. I should hang out with more people and tune drums, and we can do a study. We can find out. I'd be
no,
so curious how other people tune, yeah.
yeah, because I know some people they just some people they tune they have like their own what's it called, like tune bot, or just just actual machines to tune or whatever. And some people are
Mm,
more scientific about it. They tune on the pitch of the song, and
yeah, no, I'm not that way at all. It's like the TuneBot stuff. Every time I see one of those, I'm like, "Are you sure about that? You know, you sure about that?" And I'm sure they work great for some people. It doesn't work with
yeah.
my brain, like, because like I need to. I'm just an ear man. I'm a reference ear man.
Mm.
I
Eh,
mean, I guess if I were to say if there's a method to it, I would say just like if you don't know what's going on, if you're hitting and you're going, "What the hell?" Then you just tune everything down to softness. You finger tighten everything up to as tight as you can go with your fingers, and
yeah,
I always go opposite. Nothing crazy there. Um, yeah, and then the bottom head is gonna control your sustain. So wherever the bottom head is at is kinda gonna be like the end of the note, you know? So if you want it to be relatively high pitched and like dry, tune that thing up, you know? Like I love like John Bonham would tune
yeah,
the bottoms of his drums like kinda jazz tight. And there's just something about when you tune a bottom head up on a tom, the bounce back on the head is on the top head is so nice because you got a little
yeah.
more like pressure in there. So
Response, yeah,
I love that feeling, that response, that quick little bang bang. So I usually tune the bottom heads up, definitely not like snare drum tight, but a little tighter because also like flappy drums, like you would think that the gooeyest drum sounds from those records you love are like super tuned down and super low, but they're often not. They're actually kind of like hip hop drums are often cranked up and the toms is like "Doo-doo-doo," but
yeah,
there's the whole vibe of it makes it feel like it's like low and saucy and "Ooh, doo," you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah,
okay, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but I guess my
yeah.
point is like um opposite sides of the drum, really just using your ear.
Mhm.
Tape up on the bottom to control the length of your notes. I put
Yeah,
just gaff tape on the bottom, nothing crazy there. Yeah, I've always loved Aaron Sterling's method of tuning. I watched his Gum Road like drum whole thing like 5, 6 years ago, and he just goes like, "Oh, tape, put it there," and you just and this how does it sound? Clank, clank, clank. I'm like, yeah, I get that. That's how I work too. It's like there's a couple things you have to know, like the sustain on the bottom head. Uh, if you want the pitch of your drum to kind of go, "Ooh," or you want it to kind of, so
yeah,
that's a thing to think about. So, and that's really just the bottom head, the end of the note and the beginning of the note. And then I just try to make things as even as possible using the ear because if they're not even, then you're not gonna get like the feeling of hitting the drum is different. Like
yeah.
when you hit a drum that's really in tune and then you feel that sympathetic resonance everywhere and you feel it in your wrist when you make the contact. It's just awesome. So that's where I try to get to wherever
Nice,
I can.
nice. That's awesome, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a great way to look at it. And, just it's. I always ask this question because it's funny to see like how different drummers they have their own particular way of tuning drums. And yeah, man, it's great. But going back to your to your story, going back to LA, and you moved to LA, and you said like, did you open you have your own studio now? It's called ToneTown Studio, right?
Yeah,
And
Tone Town. Yeah.
ToneTown, sorry, ToneTown, ToonTown.
Oh, good.
It's
Would you call it Teen Town?
I'm
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah.
I'm going on a weather
It's a
report.
Nickelodeon vibe.
Yeah, ToneTown. Yes, man. No, no, yeah. And
Tone
and
Town.
when did you guys started with Devin? When did you? Was it COVID
I'll
time?
tell you, yeah, absolute. So we moved into this house 2018. It was me and my now wife, Kirsten Thorne. Yeah, we've been together since I was 16 years old, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, Kirsten's incredible. She's a private chef, and we moved out here 2018 for her to do food, me to do music. And we had a couple roommates at the time, like good friends of mine from back in the day. And so we did 2 years in this house, and the studio was called RLP, Rugs, Lamps, and Plants Studios. Because in my humble opinion, I think that is the trio of vibe creation. You need the rug, you need the lamp, you need a little plant,
It's a pretty
and
cool
then you're
name, man. I
good.
love it. Yeah, yeah,
Hey, you're
yeah,
good. You're good.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You've just successfully set up a vibe. You're good to go. Um, and then yeah, put some drums in there, and you're fucking flying. Um, Yeah, so we did 2 years here, and that was just unsustainable for me because I had very limited time to make noise in the house, and that's totally understandable. Different strokes, different folks, and my friends were like, "Drums in the house? Yeah!" And then as soon as I did it, they were like, "No!" So I only had like 2 or 3 hours a day maximum to like work on a drum studio career, and that just wasn't happening. So they all went off to bigger, better things, and Devin and I met in 2011 summer camp.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was like crazy. And we just had this vibe where I was like, yeah, man, this is my boy. We're gonna do something. But we didn't even like hang out that much. It was just a feeling, you know. He ended up touring really heavily as a front of house guy since he was 18. So I would see Devin when he would come through town with a different band. He like gave me my first like cut like bus tour experience, like get up
All
on my
right.
buddy's bus. And I'm in college and I'm all like big star-eyed, just seeing real buses that people go on. I'm like, that's crazy. So cut to 6 years later after that, we had just stayed in touch once a year or twice a year or something. And then he goes like, I go, hey man, like your dreams are to build awesome studios and and use no plugins and make everything sound perfect on the way in. I have a home. I'm sick of whatever's going on. You want to live together and do this thing? And he was like, yeah, I'm looking for a change. I've been on the road for like 10 years, 9 years. I'm still living at home because I don't need to live anywhere else because he's on the road 8, 9 months out of the year. So yeah, he changed it up. He moved in here and it's been great. Ever since then, it's just given us the ability to make music every day in some form. Um, and the funny thing is, he moved in officially right before COVID. Like it was like pretty much March 9th that he got back 2020. And then
Okay.
3 days later, I was doing a session, and I remember listening back to the beginning of the session, and I can hear my sister come into the house in the background. She goes, "Yo, so it's officially like a global emergency. It's like a global pandemic happening." Like the moment we all realized that like we're gonna not gonna see each other
That's
for a while, it was pretty intense. And
wow.
but honestly, it was an amazing time to just feel like I felt for the first time in my life I was getting paid to make music.
Wow.
As ironic and horrible as that is,
So,
like
yeah.
I had never done anything else. The last real job I had was 2013. I was a server at a shitty restaurant in Boston, so I was getting by, but like all of a sudden I was getting government checks and I'm just writing songs all day and doing nothing else. And like that was so big for the two of us. We realized that we could
I'll
do a
do
lot more
this.
than we thought we
Yeah.
could. Yeah, yeah, and that
That's
was dope.
awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
That's so cool, man. So and then you guys, I mean, I guess, after COVID, things started to reopen again, and things
Yeah.
started to work out in the end, right? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, man. It's really we got I again like music is all about friendships and relationships and about making fun memories with people that will resurface, and then also new opportunities happen. Like I feel like so much of my come up, or my just the only reason why anyone knows who I am as a drummer is probably because of that Eric Krasno gig out a couple years ago. I kind of put me on the map, if you will. And that was all through one of my oldest friends named Joe Begale, or AKA Otis
Otis.
McDonald.
Otis the
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I love
bro.
Otis.
Otis McDanks, man.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
trying to get him on the podcast as well. It's been he told me he's so busy, so I just I'm
yeah.
waiting. But yeah,
He's
hopefully
a
one
busy
day
boy,
I'll have
but
him on.
please do. He's a dear friend. He's like my mentor, older brother, spirit animal, man. I met him when I was 17, 18 years old.
Oh
And
wow.
like a long time ago, I was playing with the Interlopers, and he was singing lead and playing guitar and playing keys for the Mickey Hart band. Mickey Hart from the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, and I grew up a big Deadhead. My dad did too. So my dad was taking my sister and I to these Mickey Hart band shows, and I found Joe's music as Joe Begale. If you guys haven't heard his original stuff as Joe Begale, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But anyway, I found his music and I was like, this is possible. Like someone can play all of this and sing all this and write and produce. And he was like producing it all and focusing on the tones. And I was just blown away. So we ended up booking some uh some like after party shows for Mickey Hart, and Joe came out and we covered one of Joe's songs. And we've just been like super close homies ever since. And he got me on that
Wow.
Kraz gig. So it's like a relationship from 12 years ago or 10 years ago that, you know, filled your cup then might fill your cup again in the future. You know, just don't be a dick and be prepared.
Yeah. Because it comes back. It definitely comes back. Wow,
It
that
does,
is
man. Yeah.
that is awesome, man. So I guess you guys are still, still in touch, and you still, yeah, I guess because you
I
can see
love
that,
that, man.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can
I
I
talked to,
watched
yeah.
all his live streams like during COVID. That's the only thing I could do.
Yes.
Just watch live streams from Otis. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Joe. Yeah.
his work ethic is absurd, man. That guy does not stop. It's beautiful.
Really. Yeah. I don't know if he's still
Yeah.
doing them. I don't know if he's still doing any more of those live streams, but yeah.
Maybe he's taking a break. Yeah, he's got two beautiful kids and beautiful
Uh,
wife and beautiful life, and he's in, Hyde Street,
yeah.
Studio D. It's just, yeah, it's a special
Yeah.
place, man.
So when did you started when was the moment you were like, you know what, actually recording drums is it's a cool thing.
hmm I can track it back pretty much to, I mean, I always wanted to, was always kind of obsessed with audio gear and tones and stuff, and so high school, I had, my school was really cool. I had an externship and I got to leave school 3 days a week and go to a studio and learn some stuff. So I had the bug then, but I think it really clicked for me. I think it was like 2016, 2015. I went to do a session in New York City at a room called the Relic Room, at a studio called the Relic Room. Not sure if you guys have heard about it, but it's a wonderful room. I forget the last name of the dude who owns it, but his name is George, and the studio is so sick. And so he had this old '60s Ludwig in there, this blue Sparkle Boy. Um, and I'm trying to remember. Okay, so he had like 451 EBs on the overheads. He had a little M160 on the hi hat. He had a little 57 on the snare, but he had put ambassador heads on absolutely everything, with the felt strip on the kick drum, nothing in there. And the beater head was tuned up like a jazz kit, but then the resonant was tuned super low. He had like a D30 AKG on there, in the kick drum. So this really cool classic kick drum sound. Um, and what else? What else was it? It was just one of those perfect setups where the drum set was tuned so perfectly for what it was. And it was like 13, 16, 20, and like a superphonic, 5-inch deep boy. And then he had a PM1000 console, so like the Japanese Neve
Wow.
console. So instead of, what I mean, but he had the full 32. So instead of, 100 grand for a Neve, it was 10 grand for some Yamahas, and they sounded sick. And then he had the tape machine, the original A800 Studer tape machine
Wow.
from the Headhunters sessions. Um,
Wow.
and this is the crazy part. Like, this studio just keeps popping up in my life because Joe is in that room. Joe Bagale, Otis McDonald is
Yeah.
in Studio D. So before Joe took that room over, that tape machine was in the Relic Room, and then I heard my drums through that board and onto the tape, tuned that way. And I thought I was going to come in and have a lot of problems with the way George set his drums up. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna show him what's up. And he showed me what was up. And I was like, whoa. And I felt like I was playing on a record from that era. And I was like, got
Yeah.
transported to the thing that made me want to play and made me want to write. Like and I remember like getting synesthesia like things when I was a kid. So like that type of music was so orange and yellow and just had this particular type of thing going on that just really drew me to it. So when I started hearing my own drum sounding like that, I was like, it's over for me. I'm going to do this forever. And
Wow.
I modeled all my stuff after that session, and started tuning my drums that way and started playing more that way. And just, I got so obsessed with all those little tiny details that ultimately transport you somewhere cool,
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah,
such a, like you kind of had like a moment of switch, and you're like, there you go. This is what I'm gonna do.
I did. It was so exciting, man. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
so
man.
then
That's
I started, I financed a Universal Audio 8P, Christmas deal, Guitar Center gear card, started getting into debt nice and early, which was great.
yeah. No, you got
I'm
some
just
amazing
joking.
gear, man. Now you got some phenomenal gear, man, in the
Oh,
studio.
thanks,
It's
man.
just like, and
Thank you, bro.
a lot of vintage stuff as well. Like,
hmm
what's your take on gear? Like, because I know some people, they're like, "Oh, you kind of need it. You need the gear,
Mm.
otherwise you never know how this sounds." And some people, they're like, you know what, just do what you have.
Yeah, I think everybody is right. within that way. Like gear is esoteric and unnecessary often, especially when it comes to creativity. Like I feel like if you're obsessed with recording and with the tones and stuff, and that's something that you really want to explore, then gear is really great for that. But if you're like just trying to get ideas out and make things
Yeah.
without having any barriers, then taking gear out of the equation is actually super helpful, because then you just have a streamlined thing where you're not overthinking everything. Because you get more gear and you get more stuff to maintain, and you get
Yeah.
more mics, you get more things to phase align or whatever. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I just happened to be super obsessed with that shit. So
Yeah.
so okay, let me say, I mean, I'll put it this way. So uh gear is, and flavor and cool tones is very achievable without spending a lot of money, because there's a lot of cool stuff out there that doesn't cost a lot, that will give you the vibes. For instance, like let me grab something here for you. Um Here's a cool machine. It's called a Korg CR4. So
Yeah. Look at
this
that.
is
Wow,
a
man.
cassette deck. Yeah, it cost me $80. It's got speakers on it, which is sick, and it's got a 4-track tape, like cassette recorder in there. But then on all of these channels, there are these effects sends that go to this whole section over here, which models a bunch of amps. So there's an amp
What?
modeler, and this is like from the 90s or early 2000s. And then there's like compression, chorus, phaser, all this shit over here. And it comes out the
Wow.
speakers. And like, so I heard that Blake Mills was making a bunch of music, like
Yeah.
getting guitar tones on these things.
Really? Oh,
Um,
man.
and I've made some of the coolest drum tones in my life, and like started learning about cassette recording and tape. And then, for instance, one other thing I'll show you here, this guy. You've seen these before. These Shure
Oh, yeah.
M267s.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, like $70 or whatever I think I spent on that thing, and
Yeah.
it has like the Shure level lock, dev
Yeah.
lock, deluxe compression on it in the limiter section. So you don't need a lot of money, and you can get so pumped by what gear can do. And for me, I'm at this point where um I'm hitting a nexus of friends with gear. So like I have all these wonderful friends that through music have just connected with and made these bonds with, that for some reason trust me with gear. So I have so much stuff that's not mine
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Yeah.
here. Cool friends, that like my buddy Jordan Porter at Tone Recordings. I have so many of his mics here that just that I take care of and I help him sell, but a lot of them live here, and just we get to use because he's got so many more. I got the CP80 Yamaha keyboard over here that is
Oh,
my
wow.
buddy's, and that thing is friggin' huge. And he doesn't have room for it, so it lives here. We have a B3 that usually lives here in that corner up back
Wow.
there. Just like so
Man.
really, we're so lucky. We're so lucky
Yeah.
to have the space to accommodate cool things like that.
Yeah.
So
We need more of
that's
these
really
friends, man. We need like friends like that all the time.
the world needs friends like that, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like, also, I joke about this with my wife all the time, but like music is about like collecting guys.
Yeah.
Like you got to get a guy for this, you got to get a guy for that. So like for like drums, Greg Lewis, my friend Greg Lewis, runs a thing called Greg's Drum Shop on Instagram. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
he's my drum broker. So he'll show up and he'll bring like 10
Wow.
snares, a bunch of drums, a bunch of cymbals, and we'll have fun, and then we'll trade
So,
things in and out. So we always are learning together by exploring new gear. Um
that's awesome, man.
and
That's so cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah. I mean,
phenomenal,
last
man.
thing I'll
Yeah. Yeah.
say
Go for it. Go for it.
is like
Yeah.
these two. I'd super recommend these Yamaha
Wow.
PM 1000s,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
like I think I spent 2 grand to get 8 channels of like fake Neve, Japanese Neve channels. And so like you can get great tones for not a
Yeah.
lot of money, is what
Just
I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. You definitely though. I think like some friends that know what what they're doing, because I remember like just going into it. I had no idea what to buy. I had no idea what, and I had this friend who's like a proper collector of vintage, vintage stuff. Like
Mm,
he's got all the vintage, just Rhodes and Hammonds and all that kind of stuff. And he's just like, hey man, there you
yeah.
go. There is something for you. Just go grab it. It's on eBay now. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's
That's
do
so
it.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
having cool
yeah,
friends that know the stuff and can help you navigate the space. I guess what's tough is to like, what do you get first? So if I would recommend it to anybody looking to get into drum recording, the front end, the preamps are gonna make your drums sound better. They're gonna make your microphones sound better. It's like essentially it's like the filter that goes into the ear and out the mouth.
Mm,
It's like that thing. So if your front end is really good or good
yeah,
enough, if you have nice juicy headroom and some flavor in the preamps, you really don't need that much else. With like a couple
sure.
plugins, you can glue everything together and make it sound great. And the more people I meet who have like crazy setups, like with big ass consoles where you can throw your stems back on the console, they're like, man, if the front end is really good, like you really don't even need to bring it
Yeah, that's
back in on the console because the flavor is already there. So I would say like Universal Audio is a great place to start just because they have great preamps with, and then you can emulate all these different things in the unisons and like start to learn about the lore of the gear and when it kind of does. So like drummers invest in preamps first.
right.
It's more important than the drums. It's more important than the mics because you can put 57s everywhere with good pre's and shitty drums and good playing, and it's going to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you reckon? Like at the moment, what kind of preamps are you on at the moment that
I got
you're
some cool
using
shit here.
lately?
Yeah. Nothing crazy. I mean, I have these Yamaha PM1000s, which are great.
Nice. Yeah,
And
yeah.
these were assembled by Taylor Hawkins, actually. I never got to meet him, sadly, but
Whoa, man.
he organized this build. He took the channels off of a console and some guy put it together for him, and then he never got to use them.
Wow,
Sadly.
that's
Kind of fun lore
phenomenal.
there.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
then this thing is really cool. This is a Sound Workshop
yeah.
1280 console from the 70s, and this is like API engineers left API in the late 60s, early 70s, and they made this company. It was only around for a couple years, but they're really cool. They're just super cool. They got like API style super EQs, so you can get a lot of cool tonal
Tones.
stuff, and then
Mm,
like the pre's are super thick, and it
yeah.
just has a cool sidecar energy. So
That's awesome,
yeah.
man. That's so cool. And in terms of mics instead, do you have like any favorite setup, let's say, that you normally use on
Hmm.
on the drums?
Let's see. What am I using right now? I can show you right now what I
Yeah,
got
I
going
mean,
on. Might as well. Yeah, I mean, right now, the favorite is like whatever's happening on the day. Actually, you know what I mean. Like,
right. Okay.
my favorite thing to do is like is to get the session going, and then like by the time you're done getting tones, you're like, oh yeah, these are the best tones we've ever gotten, man. So you just try to beat whatever you have every day. You try to beat yourself. So okay, so here are the drums. Can I flip this around? No, no, no. All right, so we got like a 47 clone on the mono overhead on the drums here.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Got some Reslows from the 60s,
Mhm.
courtesy of my neighbor. Also, good neighbors is cool
Yeah.
with gear. If your neighbors have gear, you're good. This is an old RCA 77, also
Oh,
my
that's awesome,
neighbors.
man. I was watching those
Isn't
videos
that
you put out.
gorgeous?
I was watching those videos you put out not long ago. Oh my goodness, man. They sound phenomenal.
It's
Yeah.
it's a gorgeous one. And then this one I bought for myself because I love it. It's a AKG D20 from the 60s. This is like the Beatles
Wow.
kick mic. I dropped a good $1,000 on that, but
Yeah. Yeah.
oh, here's a great mic. This is the Golden Age Projects Stereo R1, and this is like
Wow.
a five $600 stereo mic, and it sounds like the R88 from AEA. It's really really awesome.
So cool.
Um,
Yeah.
oh,
Nice.
oh, check this out. So this is like a Daptone Records move. They would put a Shure
Oh yeah.
55S on the floor
Yeah.
right around here. They'd often like Gabe over at Daptone. At least I
Yeah.
read one article on Sound where it'd be this guy and then this guy in
And
this
that's it.
kind of position, right? So I
Yeah.
always have a mic down there just because you
Oh,
get
nice.
really cool results, especially when you
Yeah.
smash it. Drums are dumb sometimes. You can just put an aggressive smashy boy on
Yeah.
a weird mic in some random spot, and all of a sudden you've changed the game.
Yeah. 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 Oh, for sure, man. No,
How
it's
did
true.
he
Like
do it?
sometimes you just place a mic wherever, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
better than the overheads. All of a sudden, it's just like
Yeah. How do you
that's
get better
awesome.
drum tones? Just grab your mic and just
Just dump it on the. Nice. That's
yeah.
so cool, man.
Yeah.
When it comes instead to mixing drums, do you have any particular way that you go about it? I don't know. Do you? Yeah. There's there
Totally.
any secrets?
I would say that doing less on with drum mixing is always, I'd just say with mixing in general, doing less is a huge thing. Um, if anyone's checked out Mixer Brain, that new mixing series of, oh my god, Jeff Ellis, just amazing mindset. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I've just caught in some of the ideas, and I also love ideas from Kush Audio guys. Like
Oh yeah.
uh, essentially, the idea is like you can't create space with an additive mindset. You need to adopt a subtractive mindset, or a mindset of revealing the thing that you want to hear rather than creating the thing you want to hear. So, for instance, like with drums, I like to just get everything lined up in a balance that I like without any processing,
Okay.
and then I process the drum bus little ways. Like I'll do a little tape on there, like a tape plugin, or I'll run things through my little TIK A3440, a little pull tech maybe, just things that are gonna like just heft it up a little bit.
Elevate.
Like let's drive a little bit, and then let's pull out some of the low mids and boost some of the highs. Let's add a little movement to it, a little this or
Yeah.
that. Like, but a lot of things that are really simple moves that are like widening girthification, if you will, or
Yeah.
just are adding like color or vibe to the whole thing though. But I don't really go in and like do a bunch of plugins on all the different
On
things.
each channel.
I'll
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't really do any of that. I do like a fab filter. EQs are totally incredible. I love
Yeah.
those. Use those on everything just for shaping. I love some of the UA like 1073 Legacy EQ for some reason. That on that 10K shelf on a snare drum is amazing. And then I love a lot of the stuff from XLN Audio, like the DS10
Yeah.
drum shaper. I'll use that a lot on a kick drum. Like that just does that like tightness algorithm thing that they got on the DS10 is
Yeah.
so dope because it does
It,
a thing.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I found like a lot of people will go in. I've seen some sessions where people are trying to like manufacture the one mic to do what all of them do together when combined. So like my kick drum is not just from my kick drum mic, it's from the kick mic, it's from the side, the Daptone mic, it's from that crotch mic, it's from the stereo rooms. There's a bunch of kick in the stereo room, so I'll keep the stereo room. It's not up in the ceiling, it's down near the kick drum. So
Yeah.
when that all comes together in phase, all of a sudden you got this kick drum that hits here but travels all the way back there. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
And
So so
it's the
really,
sum of all of it. Yeah. It's true. Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like drums are that way. And the less mics you're dealing with, the less things you have to think about. So really, like less is more with drums. Don't try to make the individual things sound fake because it's gonna throw off phasing and all that kind of stuff. So like bus processing, getting great tones on the way in with good front end, and then like just adding glue and context in the mix. Like I love the Studer A800 from UAD. I love the ATR 102 on a master bus, just to
Mhm.
kind of like put it in a certain era. Mess with the IPS and stuff on tapes, because then
Yeah.
you end up without having EQ and mangle stuff. You're getting these different shapes, and mess with the calibration, like +3 versus +6 versus +7. It's like you're introducing more distortion as you move that knob up. So just like cue in on stuff like that. I will shout out like Audio Punks plugins. Those are
Right.
super sick. They make like the 610 complimenter and like the Echo Mixer. Like some of those plugins are like emulations of really special units from the past, instead of like it's more about like an homage to a certain thing that does a thing, instead of a specific compression tool that is like super versatile for you. I'd rather like throw flavor things on there and see what happens, in these little
Nice.
ways.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the
Hope that
way in,
makes sense.
do you do anything? Yeah, absolutely. No, do you do anything on the way in terms of like compression, EQ? Yeah, you do. So you try to get the
Totally.
sound on the way in first, yeah, and then
Yeah. I want to hear as close to the finished sound as possible when I'm playing, because that's going to totally change how I hit the drums, change if I am having fun. You know,
Mm.
like if you can't hear your shit, or if you hear your stuff and it sounds like flat and lame in this song, that because it depends on like what the artist sends you. Are they sending you something that's like really almost done and just needs like finished drums to elevate it? If that's the
Yeah.
case, and your drum mix isn't sounding finished, in my ears, I hate myself. You know, I just go, oh my God, you can't do anything. You know, so it pulls me right out of the moment. So I like to cook it live,
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. Yeah. 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 And how
Yeah.
do you envision, like, when because you have to come up with sounds on the spot. Do you get like sometimes like, oh man, I hope this sounds all right, because otherwise I have to, because sometimes like that's the problem of going, doing, everything on the way in, is that I had a chat about this with Heron Sterling, and he was saying like, yeah, man, that's the only way to learn. You have to do it. You have
Hmm.
to commit. And I was like, yeah,
Hmm.
I understand. It's cool, but I don't think I'm at that level yet to, and he was like, yeah, but that's how you learn. So just go for it. And yeah, I don't know. What's your take on that?
I think that's great advice. Yeah. I mean, because the era of infinite options is really, it's tough when all of a sudden the options open up infinitely. Like when you don't fully commit, that place of wondering why it's not working and being like, oh well, I have these 10 other snares I can try, or I have these couple other kits I can try, or I can mix this for 2 hours and try to find a thing. That world, that sucks. That sucks to do that, especially when it's not like your music that you're obsessing over. It's like all of a sudden you're obsessing way more over this song that the artist probably isn't obsessing as hard over. It's like, don't waste your time on and energy. Just follow your instincts.
Mhm.
Like, you know when that shit is right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know when your drums are elevating the music. Try not to overthink it and fully commit, and then fix the stuff later if it's a mistake.
Okay.
I feel like you'd have a much better time committing to something and doing it and learning from it than you will second guessing it or doing a bunch of other takes and then going like, oh wow, I just spent like 4 more hours than my rate calls for, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
I've gotten lost in other people's music before, and because you get things that are maybe wiggly on the click or whatever. So it's like you start judging yourself, and so yeah, I feel like committing is great, and it teaches you a lot about stuff. And also, like, just to say, I'm not doing a lot of processing on the way, and I like my mono overhead is kissing an 1176 just to give
Okay.
it the kind of
A
that
little
kind
bit.
of suctiony thing that it does. It's a yeah, and then it's really those side mics. Like I have no processing on any of the close mics.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I'm running that Daptone mic, that side boy, that 55S. I run that through this
Mhm,
that M267 to get that Shure level lock destroyed sound where the needle's going like this.
mhm.
And then just dialing it back because it is pretty noisy. So that's getting processed, and that's a side mic. So like if I were to take that out, you'd get perfectly clean close mics, no processing whatsoever, just the
Okay.
front end. Maybe a little bit EQ, maybe, but barely.
Yeah.
And then on that bone mic, that the knee guy, the 77,
Yeah.
that's usually getting processed, and I'll process that with stuff out here. Like we have this, it's not in the studio right now, it's getting fixed, but we have this Roberts 770A tube pre slash color box that has like a EF86 and A7X tubes in there, and you just crank them and it does just makes it
Oh, wow.
disgusting and awful in a great way. So I'll do that to the bone mic sometimes, but usually it's like hitting a UA 1176 AE plugin, or hitting like the raw pedal, kind of the rat pedal emulation from
Mhm.
UA. I think
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
both really, really good. So I'll put those just in the UA chain so I can mess with them and stuff like that, or so I don't have to get out of the off the drums and come over here and tweak stuff. Um,
That's so
and
cool.
then
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome,
I try
man.
not to overdo the processing because like if you have two mics that are going crazy, that's usually
Mm.
enough,
Yeah,
or even too much already. You know what I'm saying? So don't
for
try not
sure.
to touch any of the stuff that you don't want to paint the dynamics out of. You know what I mean?
Nice. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And the mics, do you leave them always like that, or you just? I mean, of course, like sometimes you move them, but do you have like your own kind of way of placing them, and that it works in your room, or do you just change it all the time? Like, do you? Uh,
Yeah, we're kind of I go through phases of like there's a setup for a while, and it works great. And then I get some new idea or some new thing, and then I go, oh, well, cool. Now we're gonna do that for a while. Like I've left the same kit up for like 6 months before, and it works on everything. So it's just a matter of how are you trying to explore? Are you trying to do a little more? Are you trying to learn? And sometimes sometimes one kit can really do everything, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I
Sure.
used to do exclusively Glyn Johns for a long time, like a mono overhead and a shoulder boy. And that was like I never went stereo, I never went hi-fi. It was always that, and it was working for so long. Yeah, it was Glyn Johns, kick snare, um, no tom mics,
Yeah.
maybe a mono room, and
Mm-hmm.
always a little side guy getting crushed. So that was my sound forever. And then recently just started getting cooler mics and like, well, let's try these out. And then so I got those Reslos, and then I did like an ORTF thing, and I was like, oh, that's really tight and it's stereo. That's interesting. And then I found that I could get the same type of vintage vibe that I liked, but also doing things that are a little more um universally friendly in a mix. So now we got really warm, wide stereo guys. I used to hear stereo drums and be so bored. I'll just be like, oh my God, yeah, the drums are there. Great.
Yeah.
Because the
Great.
thing about
Yeah.
Glyn Johns where it does this like
Yeah.
thing. And it's not just everything's
There we go. We're
oh,
back. We're back.
we back. Okay, great. We back. Yeah, so I used to let's see, sorry. There we go. Yeah, I used to be bored by the
Yeah.
stereo-ness of it all. But now I
Man,
I
that's
love but as long as it has flavor, so like the ribbons are really warm that are wide and they're catching like the outsides of the drums. That 47 just sounds so freaking good, and I hadn't really heard that type of detail from my drums before,
mm-hmm.
So I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
man, I can like it's like all this stuff is super deep now. It's not just warm and cool. It's got this real depth. So yeah, man, I'm in a
Works.
I'm in a starting hi-fi and making it lo-fi if we need to place right
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful, man. That's awesome. That's so cool. Man, we normally do this thing towards the end of the episode. I don't know if you still have a bit of time. We do like a
Yeah.
10 rapid fire question. It's never rapid fire. I started calling it no rapid fire questions because we like to expand on on things. So feel free to, if you want to.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah,
there we
don't let
go.
me
Now,
don't let me go on too many tangents here.
it's fine. Number one is top 3 albums for best drum sound. That
Oh my
today,
God.
this is like,
Okay.
yeah, this is super hard. So just as of
All right.
today.
I would say Headhunters, Herbie Hancock. I would say, oh my God, best drum sounds. Oh, it's tough. There's so many good ones. Oh damn, dude. Al Green, Love and Happiness. I
Ah,
love the
yes.
drum tones on that album. And then let me see one more. I'd say Steely Dan, Asia.
Yeah,
Love those drum tones so
yeah,
much.
can't go wrong.
I'm
You're
missing
the
like
best.
300 albums that I also absolutely love the drum tones on, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah, yeah. As of today, yeah. To me, it changes every day, so
Yeah, it
it's
does.
fine.
It does. Yeah.
Number two is favorite part of your job.
Favorite part of my job?
Hmm.
Oh, humans. I love hanging out with people and laughing about dumb stuff. It's my favorite.
Cool. Three is worst part of your job.
Worst part of my job? The self judgment and interesting dynamic that comes from just playing music and it's you. So I think my least favorite part is sometimes the self judgment that comes with trying to fit your thing into other things occasionally.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Four is piece of gear you cannot do without when recording drums at the moment.
Oh,
It could be anything except sticks.
I would say a 14-inch Roots EQ ring.
Oh man, you know what? I'm trying to get to the States just to buy them because they don't sell them here in the UK, and I'm like, just need to
That's
buy them.
bullcrap. Yeah, you
I
need
know,
some of
right?
those. They're so good. Yeah, Adam Topol over at EQ Roots EQ. Shout out.
Yeah, he's the best. Nice. Five is dream artist you love to record for. Bless you.
Thank you. I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to play with Donald Fagen.
Wow.
I've always wanted to be in Fagen's band.
Yes. Hey Keith, hey mate, it's all right. Just stay home today and just keep
Yeah.
calm. You just
I
nice.
love the Fags.
6 is what plugins you normally use on your drum bus. I mean, we already kind of talked about
Yeah,
them.
Studer 800, Pultec, yeah, Audio Punks 610 comp limiter. Yeah, those are 3 that are usually there these days.
Nice. 7 is I mean, we already talked about this as well, like some videos or book tutorials that you recommend or you found helpful in starting learning how to record drums.
Oh, how to record drums. Interesting. Okay, well, Aaron Sterling's old
Sound of
school
Sterling.
how to record drums. That is so awesome. And he's such a silly, free man with no allegiances. He's just doing his thing. So just like, yeah. Oh, him and Dan Bailey,
Dan Bailey, yeah.
up in Riverside. He's very, very talented, very good, very intentional, very intelligent. He knows exactly what he's doing. Check out Dan Bailey. Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. 8 is who's your inspiration when it comes to recording drums? It's like producers, an engineer, drummer, it could be.
Yeah. Really. That's a good question. Inspiration for drum sounds. Let's see. Definitely have some favorites here. Somebody's name here I'm looking for. All right, inspiration for recording drums. Producers and engineers. Let me see. Well, okay. Gabe from Daptone. Gabriel Roth from Daptone Records, huge one for me. Honestly, Otis McDonald recording drums.
Yes.
up in the Bay Area, man. Yes. When I heard his sound, I was like, it's achievable. Great room, minimal mics, great playing, great tuning. Yeah. You can do it too. Nice. So I'd say he's a big one for me. See if there's anybody else. And specifically in terms of record. Oh, Questlove. Yeah. I love Quest. He's just been incredible forever. There's so many more people to give daps to here, but Quest is he's always been so amazing with the touch and the tones.
Absolutely. Yes. Number 9 is best advice you've ever received. There is one.
Best advice ever received. Maybe it's do a good job and don't be a dick.
That's great advice. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I think I heard that in many different forms of that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd say treat every musician and every person like they played on your favorite album. Because whether they've done the thing that would warrant them getting treated nicer or whatever, it's like treat everybody the same, treat everybody with love, like they've done something really awesome, because you never know when that person's going to resurface in your life and bring some opportunity or some experience or some meal, and anything that's going to be good. Just be nice, be really nice to everybody.
Nice. Last one is worst advice you've ever received.
Oh man. Go crazier.
Go crazier.
Do more. That's the craziest advice. I don't even know who said that, but doing more is usually the wrong thing.
Yeah, more fills, more
fills. Do more. More.
Is there one piece of advice that you would that you could give to someone young that is starting out and wants to do exactly what you do? Is there anything that you could recommend to?
Yeah. Play along to your favorite records, and if you are finding yourself inside that music and full of joy, just absolutely full of joy when you are both honoring what is there and learning it and playing it, and then finding something new in yourself, like that is just my favorite feeling in the world. And that this is the only reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because I found myself inside music that changed my life, and I've found a home in it myself and learned something and blah blah blah. And yeah, and I'm gonna chase that feeling forever about finding yourself in some music that can affect people in a nice way. That's just the coolest thing ever, you know. So yeah.
That is great. That is great. Wow, man. I think there is like not a better way to end this episode. That's such a cool advice, man. Man, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Like really, I had such a great time talking to you. So I
Dude, we
think we
keep
need to,
going. We can go 3
yeah,
hours if you want.
we could. I could go on for 3 hours, man. We need to do
Yeah,
like
easily.
a part two of this, absolutely, because
Yeah.
it was so cool. But yeah, man, thank you so much. And if you ever happen to be in London, man, just you just
We'll be back this
yeah.
summer, man. I'm gonna hit you. Let's hang out, let's get some food, let's talk
Yeah.
more crap about drums.